The truth is, I'm not a big fan of social media and log into my Instagram account once in 6 months. I went in recently and I saw hundreds of messages from people asking to know what would happen to the Indian cricket team in the T20 World Cup that is to be played in Australia in a few weeks from now. Now, I've done this kind of analysis several times in the past. And whenever I do such a study, I take the horoscope of the captain and try and understand what is going to happen to the entire team based on that one horoscope. Rohit Sharma is the captain of the Indian team. Unfortunately, I do not have his horoscope with me. And I don't want to work with dirty data and trying to understand the fortune of the Indian cricket team. But I do have Virat Kohli's horoscope, and I've analyzed this chart several times in the past and had some degree of success while understanding this horoscope. So, even though he's not the captain of the team, Virat Kohli is still one of the most important members. I thought, let's look at his horoscope and see what we can tell about the fate of the Indian cricket team in this T20 World Cup that is to be played in Australia. Virat Kohli obviously has an incredibly powerful horoscope. But since the 30th of September 2021, he has been running the Antar Dasha of Venus. Now, every horoscope has certain planets that are favorable and others that are not. Venus is not a favorable planet for Virat Kohli. The Mahadasha is Rahu. Rahu is favorable, but the Antar Dasha of Venus is not likely to give very good results. And we have seen that he has suffered a loss of form, a dip in form, ever since this planet has started controlling his horoscope. However, there is the Antar Dasha, there is the Pratyantar Dasha, there is the Suksham Dasha. There are many levels at which a chart has to be studied. Just because the Venus Antar Dasha is in effect does not mean that everything is going to be bad. The first match that India is going to play is against Pakistan on the 23rd of October. Now this is the big one. I had said the last time we had played Pakistan in the World Cup that Pakistan's horoscope seemed stronger. It had appeared at that point that India did not have the destiny to win that match, and unfortunately I was proven right in that game. On the 23rd of October 2022, Virat Kohli is going to have Rahu, Venus, Mars, and then Moon that is controlling his horoscope. The Mahadasha is favorable, the Antardasha is very unfavorable. The Pratyantar Dasha Mars is very favorable, and the Suksham Dasha Moon is okay. It's not bad for Virat Kohli. So my understanding is that he may not perform as well as we would want him to, but I feel very strongly that India is going to win this match on the 23rd of October. We are going to defeat Pakistan in Australia. That's the really good news over here. The second match that India is scheduled to play is on the 27th of October. Now, on the 27th, Virat Kohli again has a good horoscope. There's nothing that indicates defeat in this chart. 27th of October should be another successful outing for India. Our opponent of the 27th has not been decided as yet, but whoever we face, I'm reasonably confident we are going to win this match. So going up to this point, we are 2-0 in the World Cup. Now, on the 28th of October, Virat Kohli's chart sees a change of planets. The Mahadasha will be Rahu, Antardasha will continue to be Venus, but the Pratyantar Dasha will no longer be Mars, it will be Rahu again. The third match is going to be played on the 30th of October. On the 30th of October, Virat Kohli has the Mahadasha of Rahu, the Antardasha of Venus, the Pratyantar Dasha of Rahu again, the Suksham Dasha of Rahu, and the Pran Dasha of Rahu. So Rahu is going to be a very important planet on this day. Now, in transit, Rahu is transiting through the Nakshatra of Venus. Rahu is transiting through the Nakshatra of Venus. Venus is going to be controlling the activities and functions of Rahu, and that's not a great sign for Virat Kohli, because Venus is the Akarak for this horoscope, and Venus has brought destruction to this chart whenever it has taken control of it. Given the fact that the third, fourth, and fifth levels of the chart and the first level is controlled by Rahu. Despite the fact that Rahu is functioning under the control of Venus, I feel we're going to end up doing well. 30th should be, we should be okay. It's definitely going to be a tricky day, and Virat Kohli is going to struggle. We play our next match on the 2nd of November. The Mahadasha is Rahu, Antar Dasha is Venus, Pratyantar Dasha is Rahu, Suksham Dasha is Rahu, and the Pran Dasha on this date is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is a very favorable planet for Virat. I'm 100% certain India is going to win this match. We go into the last match of the group stage on the 6th of November. On the 6th of November, the Pran Dasha in Virat Kohli's horoscope is now Saturn. Saturn has the greatest control over this day. Saturn is not a bad planet for this chart. It's not a great planet, but it's not a bad planet. So again, I would imagine we're going to do reasonably well. So we come out of the league stage at least 4-1, if not 5-0. And the good news over here is I'm firmly of the view we're going to beat Pakistan. Now, there are two semi-finals that are to be played. The first is on the 9th of November and the second is on the 10th of November. On both of these days, the Mahadasha is Rahu, Antardasha is Venus, Pratyantardasha is Rahu, Suksham Dasha is Rahu, and Pran Dasha is Mercury. Mercury is again a good planet for Virat, but it's not really great. He's a Jupiter ascendant, so for a Jupiter ascendant, Mercury is seen as the Badhak. There is a reasonable chance that India will fail to cross this hurdle. But there is an important point over here. On these 2 days, Mercury is going to be transiting through the Nakshatra of Jupiter. When Mercury is transiting through the Nakshatra of Jupiter, it's going to do well. Will we cross the semi-finals? Will we win the match? Whether on the 9th or the 10th? There's a very strong possibility that we will. Now, the finals are on the 13th of November. I don't know how to say this, but exactly on the 13th of November, at 5:05 in the morning, Virat Kohli's horoscope changes again. And the greatest control over his horoscope on this day and for the next few days moving forward is going to be that of Venus. Venus, I told you, is not a good, it's not a good planet for his chart. Venus is not going to ensure success. I feel fairly confident that we should make the finals. The semi-finals will be difficult, but I feel, because, I told you that Mercury is controlling that day for Virat, and Mercury is the Badhak. The Badhak is a planet that brings obstacles. But due to the fact that Mercury is transiting through the Nakshatra of Jupiter, I feel we should get past the semi-finals. But even if we do get past the semi-finals, based on Virat Kohli's horoscope, I'm 100% certain we are not going to do that well in the finals. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I could very well be wrong. There may be something in Rohit Sharma's horoscope that completely disproves everything that I'm saying over here. And I would love to have the opportunity to study his chart, but I've not been able to get his confirmed birth details still. So there may be something that changes everything. But if we were to look at Virat Kohli's horoscope, I'm 100% certain, unfortunately, sadly, the finals are not going our way. I don't like doing these readings where I have to see that India is not winning, and particularly in a competition as important as the World Cup. But if we were to center our reading on Virat Kohli's horoscope and trust the planets and nothing else, I would have to say India is going to stumble at the final obstacle one more time.